Well, where there's the best, there also has to be a worst. And when I say the worst, this one is the worst. Unfortunately, a lot of stories have a hard time ending it. It especially has a hard time ending it if it's unexpectedly canceled. So the author has to figure out a way to either rapidly wrap it up or end it on a continuing storyline. So this volume did not start out bad. I'm going to stress this up. The part that wraps up the bit of plot that was left over from Volume 4 is good. It's like, here it starts off with Rago essentially trying to explain to this stupid kid that Amagi is nobody's friend. He ain't his friend, he ain't friend of any allies. His allies aren't even his allies, they're just food. So it's like, it took a while, but the kid finally figures it out. But it took him a long time to figure it out. But he got his head out of his ass and went to go and help everyone else. We get Tamagi's backstory, which really reinforces that he's not anybody's friend. It explains why he's nobody's friend. And that he was essentially a psychopath from the start, but he's a Monoke, so that's not really unexpected now, is it? It's just he's one of the less sympathetic ones. And it's like, these leftover bits from the forest plot, still great. All the panels from the forest still look good. Not as good as the previous chapter, but there's still some good scenes. Like this full page panel, it looks good. A little bit more simplistic, but it still looks good. It's not to the same heights as the previous volume. And from here on out, it's rushed up. It puts like 3 volumes worth of plot into... What is this? A little over half a volume. But yeah, were this to not get canceled so abruptly, I'm pretty sure the plot of this would be spread out between 1 or 2 more volumes. But it's the ending, so they give us plenty of little wide panels to try and make up for the fact that the plot is so heavily rushed. He had no time to write, so he had to finish this up as fast as possible with as little time as possible, so everything is going to be heavily reliant on tropes. That's just a sad truth. There's some nice looking panels, but the glitch effect which I talked about for volumes 2 and 3 that ended up not being in volume 4, which made volume 4 the best volume by far. It's the worst in this one. But I can't blame the action for being worse because they had to shove so many volumes worth of plot into half of a volume. It's like, this is the worst volume by far because it has to be extremely fast because I'm pretty sure the author knew by the end of volume 4 that this series was getting canceled. So instead of having more time to write to make it as good as volume 4, he had to rush it up and find a few nice little tropes to tie it all together into a complete story. And hopefully when the anime releases, they just rewrite this whole thing. But it's like, I do like the whole wide panel shots. He had to write this fast. This was the only way it was going to happen. It's like, I respect what was done, but when in a situation like this, it was always going to be the worst one. We're in the final fight. There's some nice forms. There's some nice panels. I don't like this as much, though. This could have been redesigned, but I don't think he had time to redesign it. It's like, it looks cool, but when you take your time to read the action, you notice that, you know how on YouTube there's this effect where you could hit the K and J to accelerate or go back 10 seconds? Yeah, it feels like that effect in comic form somehow. That's not a good thing. And it's like in other volumes it might have been maybe less than that. Not as extreme. This is extreme in here. And then it wraps up in the Power of Friendship tag that says 2 is better than 1, obviously. Yeah. When reading this series, if you want to just stop at volume 4, that's probably the best way to read it. Even if the first half of volume 5 is actually decently good, the second half is just not good. But if you want to just turn your mind off for the second half and just look at the pages, then it's not bad. It's like the art in Black Torch is always decent. Decent at worst, amazing at best, but the story is not that good in the second half of this one. Yeah, there's a little note. This isn't all of them, but this is probably the longest of them. But the author leaves a little letter saying that they are grateful for all the people who have read it. It's like, these little afterwords in all of them are nice. I like them. And they add something to the feeling of the whole series. It's like, it's a shame. I wish this got the treatment it deserved from Shonen Jump, but also there were a lot of problems with Black Torch that were apparent in every volume except for volume 4. And a lot of people, they'll read the first one and think, oh, Jujutsu Kaisen, but early, like early Jujutsu Kaisen, or I've heard some people call it a ripoff of Jujutsu Kaisen, but this was released first. And it was only running for 1 year, but I feel bad for this series. It could have been so much more than what it was. But you could tell that Tsuyoshi Takaki did not write too much action before this series. It took them a while to get out of the awkward phase, and by the time they got to the greatness of Volume 4, it was too late. And I hear that they got onto a different series called Heartstopper. And I hope that one wasn't reliant on action, but it has more volumes than Black Torch does, so it must be doing well. So, I wish this author the best. If you want to read Black Torch, it's worth the read, though I will say that if you don't want to read past Volume 4, I do not blame you. I will be keeping my entire Black Torch collection. I'll probably be rereading it in the future, especially Volume 4. But this is what you have to expect from the series. It's short, it's sweet, it's rushed in the end. But the good moments are really good, and the bad moments, if you turn your mind off and just look at the pictures, it's not that bad. The whole series reads kind of like a pilot. And Shonen Jump took these ideas and gave them to the next series. Because one that started coming out almost as soon as this ended was Jujutsu Kaisen. And if you want to see an extended version of Black Torch, I say watch Jujutsu Kaisen. That's what I think of Black Torch. It has its own style, but it's not stylish enough. Everything's done almost all the way, except for Volume 4, which does go all the way. It's just, it has a potential it fails to reach, except for Volume 4. It just needed to go a little bit further in every aspect. This 5th volume needed to be 2 more volumes. This has the content that needed 7 volumes, but it only got 5. It's a shame, but it's a nice, short, sweet series, and I'm glad I read it. Till next time.